New World Order, you underestimated the people. You took a gamble and you lost.
Okay, we don't like this. Okay, well then we're going to do this. And that is just how it's going to be.
Evidence brought to light that there is a corrupt officer, or that that officer did shoot that kid on purpose.
I don't care how I look, I don't care how I sound, I don't care what the beat is. I just care the message gets across.
Hey guys, it's been a while. Now, where do I even begin? Well, followed Operation Jade Helm. That was an interesting thing, still not done, still watching quite carefully. Paying attention to, Obama's pushes. Interesting to say the very least. But in about 4 years, for the first time in a long time, I have to actually look at my own country. Because, see, the premise of the Worldwide Resistance Network is that I give you a platform to express your opinions to the very best of your own ability, and I never really cared what your opinion was. I cared about the fact that you had the right to share it with everybody. Didn't matter who you wanted to share it with. You want to share it with Islam, you share it with Islam. You want to share it with the Christians, you share it with the Christians. You want to share it with the atheists, fucking give her balls, share it with the atheists. I know a few that might listen to you. What I'm getting at is that is not the content of the opinion, it is the ability to express the opinion. So that is the foundation of the Worldwide Resistance Network. The reason why we resist now and continuously, all the time, every time, is simple. If we don't, who will? So, I'm going to jump into a couple of things here. Harper, for those who did not know, now my numbers may be skewed ever so slightly, but the message as a whole is quite simple. If I'm not mistaken, Prime Minister Stephen Harper was elected with only 40% of the nation voting. I'm not telling you that Prime Minister Harper won 40% of the votes. I am telling you that Prime Minister Harper won his majority through a percentage of 40% of voters. So, of 40% of Canadians that got up and voted, there's an even smaller percentage that voted for Harper. The problem faced here is that if all other parties got 25% of those votes, of the 40% of the populace, and Harper walked away with 26, and one walked away with 24, that gives Harper the majority. When was the last time you passed a test with a 30? When was the last time you completed 40% of the test and got a 100% mark on the answers, regardless of whether or not they're right or wrong? 40% of the test completed, all of the answers in that 40%, some may be right, some may be wrong, but the teacher decided, fuck, I'm going to give you 100%. You deserve an A on that paper. Yeah, that's what we did, guys. It's not foolish, it's not complex, it's not hard to understand. That's just what we did. It's nothing, that's it. That's the brass tacks, that's the plain Jane, that's how Harper's leading the country. You've heard me say things about Hitler like, I can't sit here and hate that man due to his intelligence. Now, he was a crazy, cockamamie asshole that threw a bunch of people in an oven, right? Yeah. Show me a dumb person that can pull that off. Okay? That is the context that I'm approaching this with. I don't like Harper. I don't have to like Harper. I'm a fucking Canadian. That's kind of part of the deal. I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. I have to agree not to kill you, and you have to agree not to kill me, and we're good. We might have it out, you know, at the bar, drink a little bit too much, fucking smash some guy's face in, get your face smashed in. It happens. Okay? But as long as you don't kill me and I don't kill you, we can disagree till we're blue in the fucking face. That's why I love my country. Problem. Bill C-6. Now, we're talking about Bill C-51, right? I'll get to that. Bill C-6. Look it up. Look into it. Find out what it holds. Take Bill C-6. Stack it on top of Bill C-51. Find out what happens to us then. But see, it's awesome to intitulate laws of good faith, of good nature, of protection, and benevolence. Yes, benevolence. I said it right the first time. Holy fuck. So, it is awesome that we as nations, worldwide, are capable of doing these things. But what happens when the long arm of this law that we uphold, right here, way up there, do you realize the only thing we hold above the law is the God of the land? So, regardless of what country you're in, Canada's a Christian nation. The United States is a Christian nation. The only thing above the law is the God of the land. Same principle if you go to Islam. The only thing above Islamic law, and that's another thing, guys, Islamic law, okay, think about it, Christian law. That's right, there is 10 of those, isn't there? Oh, well, what is Sharia law? Let's get into that. Like, what is it? I think it has something to do with not taking in any intoxicants. I think it has something to do with no sexual flagrancies and whatever, like vagrancies, sorry. See, I couldn't even say that one right the first time. So you get one right, you fuck up later anyways. I don't even bother trying anymore. And they cover personal things. I could show you somebody similar that follows Sharia law. You just didn't even know that they did. Mormons, they follow the 10 Commandments, the 5 words of wisdom. What are the 5 words of wisdom? No coffee, no tea, no alcohol, no drugs, no abuse of prescription drugs. What's the other ones? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna crack open the Bible to figure out what those 5 words of wisdom are again. Oh, no tobacco. No tobacco, no tea, no coffee, no drugs. What is it? Fuck it. You know what? I'm going to do another video and I'm going to read them out just to prove a point. What I'm getting at here is that Sharia law is a religious-based law in which I will have to agree with most of my Western and European counterparts. It is a law that should be followed by choice. By choice, okay? To my Islamic brothers and sisters, the difference between us, I think we may find it here, is that my faith inside of me, my heart, my soul, tells me that the greatest gift that Allah, that God has ever given this earth is agency. The right to choose right from wrong. Now, understanding that God has given the human creature the right to choose right from wrong, implementing Sharia law should be that much easier to understand. Okay? Sharia law is just another word that the media likes to use to scare you. It's just another thing. So let me guess. So someone down in the Middle East is worried that we're going to go over there and teach them the 10 Commandments? They're already ahead of you on that. They listen to the 10 Commandments. Not complex stuff, guys. It's really not. So, the reason why I'm bringing in all these laws and how amazing they can be and how we have to be intuitive and we have to use the gifts of discernment that we have within us to examine these laws and who will they affect. Now, here's an interesting thing. I could turn the Worldwide Resistance Network into a hate fucking thing like that. I'd lose a few members, pick up a few new members. I could start screaming, burn those ragheads. I could start screaming, crucify those Christians. I could say, hang the gay people by the short and curlies. I could say anything. As long as I did not actually act upon it, I can share an opinion. As long as I have no malice behind it. So, what do you think of the people in the middle? Oh, fuck those ragheads, man. Let them all die. I'm allowed to say these things, okay? It's important to understand that connotation, okay? Now, I can say these hate-filled things about just about any culture in the world. But I can't say it about Israel. I did some research. I want you guys to look into a guy. His name is Ernst Zundel. He's a Canadian-German immigrant. In 1984, he appeared before a court and was found guilty of hate crimes for the action of Holocaust revisionism, not Holocaust denial. There is a huge difference, guys. Holocaust denial says, you don't believe it ever happened. Holocaust revision indicates that something of great travesty has taken place, but we may have been lied to about the facts. So, as critical thinking adults capable of discussing some of the largest historical events in the world, let's open those books up, take another crack at it, see what's up. Let's see what's going on. You can't do that in this country. Now, the reason why I'm so perplexed about this is that the Worldwide Resistance Network has worked for almost 5 years now. October, 5 years that we've been together and meshing useless pieces of information with some of the most grandiose pieces of information, siphoning through the garbage and researching the important. Once we did that, many members within the network, who may never credit the network, which is kind of the point, have decided to do things on their own. Now, when I say people of the network, that doesn't mean I gave an order to somebody and something fucking happened. No. I do not order you to do anything in this world. But people who are researching these informations have no choice but to eventually bump into us. It's inevitable. This is what we do. Conspiracy Unknown said it the best. Good friend Mike McGee from the States, buddy. Volunteer basis, none of us are paid, but we fucking do it. And you know what? We're realizing with every step that we're getting closer and closer to breaking some of the largest international laws without firing one bullet. Now, here's my address to Stephen Harper, bud. Get out of Canada. It's not safe for you here anymore. Not for very much longer. I can't see how a man like you is going to survive this event. Okay? There is huge sociological ramifications behind the decisions that you are making right now. Now, am I telling you that I'm going to strap up and hurt you? No. I have no desire to do that. I don't need to do that. You know why? Because there's more than enough crazy Canadians that'll do it for me without me asking them to. Because you're going to piss off the wrong Canadian. Have you forgot that there's a bunch of people my age who are military veterans? I'm not talking about a 65, 95, 85, 102-year-old World War II veteran. I'm talking about fucking Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Lebanon, any United Nations sanctioned mission. They didn't all die over there. And my tax dollars, and your tax dollars, and everybody's tax dollars spent a buku dollars training these men how to not die. They didn't all die over there. They came home. Your policies are one grotesque, violent protest away before you actually ignite a horrendous outcome. Why? Because you're looking at Canadians and telling them that no matter what, you can't speak your mind. Harper, you're gonna have to kill me, dude. You won't stop me from speaking my mind. Ever. Ever. And I have no problems violently, murderously defending myself when you come knocking. Because why am I so upset, and why am I giving such a calm, threatening demeanor and posture to the fucking leader of my country? BDS. Do you know what it means? Boycott, divest, and sanctions. Now you are going to look at the Canadian populace with a straight face after you've sanctioned Iran alongside with the United States, after you've sanctioned Russia alongside with the United States. Both nations never dropped a bomb on anybody lately. You notice that? You figured that out yet? Iran hasn't had a war of aggression for a very long time. Russia hasn't had a war of aggression for quite some time. Yeah. But we're going to sanction these motherfuckers, right? You fuck all you guys. Sanctions to the teeth. Can't even get fucking penicillin up in this bitch. I can't buy a fucking dog from one of these countries when those sanctions are up. But your populace has asked, due to, the child murders in Israel, I'm sorry, you drop a fucking bomb on a school, what am I supposed to call it? Okay? We look at you, dude, pull our money out of that, please. I'm not a big fan of that fucking idea. And then you're like, yeah, shut up. That's what you're telling us. We're telling you we don't want to be associated with a nation that murders fucking children, and you're telling us to shut up, and you wonder why I'm trying to tell you someone's going to fucking kill you? It's coming. There's nothing you can do unless you turn that fucking top on the other direction. So, we also know in 2011, Prime Minister Harper rigged the national election. That's proven. Look it up. I'm not saying, go check out the local conspiracy websites. I'm saying, go look it up in real media format, real legal legislation documents, guys. Okay? 2011 was rigged. So, Harper, you think you're going to successfully rig 2015? You think you're going to be able to pull that one off? I don't know. But like I said, Hitler was an intelligent man. And he got away with some pretty fucking shady shit, didn't he? So, my request to you guys is when you're addressing the Prime Minister of this country, to do so actively, intelligently, steadfastly. Don't give 1 inch. Don't belittle yourself with simple holdings of the signs and screaming at a wall that has been insulated to handle fucking mortar rounds. Okay? What I'm saying here, get on the phones, get on the emails, get on the letters, find your local politicians, because at this point, although I may not believe the voting will save us, I like to believe that if we could at least put somebody different in there with a clear civil shot across the bow that pretty much states that if you are complicit with international war crimes, we will string you up on Parliament Hill. See, that is what I would do if I ran this fucking country. If I found out that you were complicit or part of or financed or even so much as looked that fucking direction and didn't attempt to stop it, I would fucking string you up for war crimes. Don't tell me it don't happen. We strung up Saddam on fucking Christmas Day. We made an international fiasco of this. Here's the deal. You get the politicians lined up. I'll get the guys with the wood, and one of their buddies will bring the rope. And you just make a nice clear line and let the civilians take care of the rest. That's where it's going to go. You can't make an attempt at trampling on a nation's free speech. And I'm not trying to hide behind violent words as free speech. So I'm not telling you that hating Muslims and hating gays and hating Christians and hating Jewish people and hating, I'm not telling you that that is a form of free speech. It's a form of absolute nonsense, of fucking cockery bullshit is what it is, but it's not a form of free speech. Adequately expressing an intelligent opinion behind why you truthfully disagree with what your nation is doing is an adequate representation of free speech. Kind of like what I'm trying to do right now. Okay? So, you honestly think that this is just going to go away? Jesus Christ, guys, be careful with that one. I think Poland thought that too. I think Czechoslovakia thought that too. See where I'm going with this? So, I don't think that we're going to be able to handle very much more of this. Not the way it's going. Because what's going to happen? One of these days, something absolutely atrocious is going to happen, and I'm going to voice my displeasure, and I'm going to have armed, badge-toting C-6 agents at my front door. Which, guys, that's something you guys may not know about C-51. If you are not clear with what C-51 is, simple basics. In the United States, FBI, CIA, okay? They're entitled to a badge and a gun, and they have arrest powers. Although the CIA is an actual intelligence community. C-6 is one of the best intelligence organizations in the fucking world, and doesn't need a gun or badge to get its jobs done. It never did. Explain to me now why all of a sudden my C-6 officers need guns and badges? I live in a country that is policed by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police on a national level, then followed by provincial polices in certain provinces, followed even more by municipal and city polices in other provinces. And I need another agency to have badges and guns? We don't have enough of those floating around. We can't start divesting some interests here? And we can't start figuring this out? We gotta start, it doesn't make sense. It's a grotesque waste of tax dollars, personally. And honestly, one of the best ever distraction tools I've ever seen. You're too busy looking about what your nation's going to do about your own personal freedoms. How could you possibly have the time to look into what's happening abroad? They got you all walking on eggshells. I don't care. I'm going to live free and die on my feet. I'll die. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I'm dying in my boots. I understand. That's okay. But, come on now. Let's be real about all of this. They're going to actually criminalize fucking criticism. They're criminalizing criticism. Now, I will give Harper his dues. Okay, CBC, he kind of made a mistake. And it's okay, we understand, we get it. He fucking took a story and ran with it. It's all good. But the laws for anti-Semitism and hate crimes and things of this nature, they have existed since 1984. My opinion is illegal in this country since 1984. Scary coincidence, I might add, but it is the truth. There is case law that proves it. The man's name is Ernst Zundel. You've covered the shit. I've seen your broadcast covering what he went through. So, what Harper is doing here, ladies and gentlemen of my great country, is he did not enact laws that made it criminal. He is probably just going to choose to use laws. But we know Harper doesn't use anything. He misuses everything. He's going to use existing law to peg on a current situation. Now, those of you who don't fully understand what this means, it's a current leader using a law from a previous leader from a previous time for current situations being misused and mismanaged during the current. To my great citizens of the United States, you are probably going to see this problem with your presidential executive orders. When one of your presidents chooses to execute an executive order of a former president. You might want to pay more attention to what you're going to allow as executive orders. But anyway, so, do you understand where this is going? World War III is on right now. It's happening right now. We just didn't drop the bomb yet, guys. Did you think, like World War II, the nuclear weapons and atomic weapons went off every day all over the world? No. They fought, they bickered, propaganda machines, war machines. Now we have computers and robotics to throw in the mix. Yeah, scary world we're in. Don't stop living. Don't stop teaching. Don't stop speaking. Don't start being afraid. Being afraid, too late for that. You know when you're allowed to be afraid? When the towers fell. You know, the day they fell. It's a good fucking time to be afraid. We're not too sure if something else is coming our way. You know when's a good time to be afraid? When there's a gunman up in Parliament fucking Hill. Inside Parliament. Although for me it was kind of like a moment to rejoice because I personally don't care if the Prime Minister gets fucking assassinated because I don't like what he's doing. But I'm not going to break the pact that the nation has with the citizenry. You don't kill me, I don't kill you. You don't try to kill me, I don't try to kill you. You start working angles that are going to make it that we all know you're going to kill us, it's probably going to go bad. Advocacy verbs. You are going to imprison people who are trying to stop the bombing of children. That is who you're throwing in jail next. Bad enough there's a bunch of fucking potheads in there. Pacifist fucking potheads sitting up in our jails. Now you're gonna put... Oh, fuck. It hurts. It hurts. It's a half hour, guys. That's all I can do. Take care.